What's up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and I am here today, you guys, with a brand new review for the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 16, episode number 2. You guys, this episode was titled Hot Dogs and Hot Mics. So, before we go ahead and get into it, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and also by sharing the video. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's go ahead and discuss the Real Housewives of Atlanta, shall we? Quick housekeeping before we get into it. So, I don't mind when y'all leave your comments and shit like that, right? But there was somebody who left a comment. Don't care who the person was. I guess they new here. I don't care. So the person left a comment, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember the comment. I just hearted the comment, liked the comment, and said okay. But it was something to the effect of, you know, we don't want to see you look at your phone and not show us anything, when I've actually, in the last episode, I gave you guys the lady's title card so you guys know who I'm talking about. Now, if you want to see scenes of the episode, go watch the episode on Peacock. If you have DirecTV, YouTube TV, any streaming service that shows it, if you got the streaming service, if you want to see the episode, go watch the episode on television. As far as me, I'm not showing you anything from that episode because that is copyright and I get paid to do this. So I'm not going to lose money, and I'm not going to potentially lose my channel because people want things for free. That's that. Moving on to the episode. So the episode opens up where we last left off. And you guys remember, in the last episode, we ended with Shamia asking Drew about her and Dennis' relationship. You guys know Drew is talking about the fact that Dennis is an angel to her, angel on earth to her. I was like, oh God, Drew, you're doing the most. Then I gotta ask Drew, like, are you delusional? Are you delusional? So we get a little deeper into this whole thing about Portia going out to Drew's birthday party, right? So Portia said Dennis had texted her about going to Drew's birthday party, but she had already taken her makeup off, so she didn't go to the party. But then the next day, she sees Drew posting on social media, and Drew looked washed out. Drew says, yeah, because I didn't have no makeup on. And they're like, you know, everybody's like, you look washed out because you didn't have no makeup on? Like, that's when I look, I look good with no makeup on. I was like, okay. But Portia says that, Drew looked washed out because of everything that Drew is going through with Ralph. I was like, oh my God, is this what we're really about to talk about? But okay, cool. We talking about it, right? The shit that Drew is saying is making no sense to me. It's like, Drew, well, let's say this. Neither Drew nor Portia are making sense because both Drew and Portia are lying. I was like, is this going to be a season of let's see who can tell the most lies between Drew and Portia? Like, are we going to play a game of who can tell the most lies? Portia, you go. Drew, you go. Portia, Drew, Portia, Drew, Portia. Drew, you got another one? Like, it feels like that's going to be what it is, right? So then Drew says she opened up for Tamar Braxton, right? And Dennis reached out to her people with a proposal for her music, and y'all went with that. What music has Dennis produced? Please tell me that in the comments section. What music has Dennis produced that we know of, that we hear on the radio, right? As big as Atlanta is, and as many producers that there are in Atlanta, you went with Dennis. Okay, Drew. Okay, Drew. Whatever. So then Portia says that, she's been there for Drew, and she says Drew is a low-down individual. Y'all know I like Portia. But Portia, you ain't no better than Drew. Like, you can't sit here and talk shit about Drew. Because, you were friends with Drew. Drew is filming with Dennis. I know people... Here's the thing. I know her and Fallon weren't real friends, but I don't give a fuck. You were quote unquote friends with Fallon to bring her on this show, right? You filmed with her. You dipped with her then husband, her then her husband, then to be ex-husband. So I mean, Portia, you ain't really got a whole lot of room to talk, but okay. So then she asked production, can I break the fourth wall, please? Can I break the fourth wall? Can I break the, I can't? Okay. So True, you know, you were telling production that you were gonna film with Dennis. And then, you know, I also heard that you were gonna do a photo shoot for Go Naked Hair. And that is my brand. And you should have come to me. That is mine. I was like, oh, okay, Portia. like, I was like, okay, Portia. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. And then production asked Portia, like, are you mad that Drew is filming with Dennis? I'm not mad about that. That's not what I'm mad about. But then they showed 3 different scenes where Portia is, now in this scene, she's like, no, it's not about her filming with Dennis. It's about the Go Naked Hair. But then you see another one where it's about Dennis. 2 of them about Dennis. I was like, okay, Portia. So here's the thing. I think it's mad ironic that Portia is looking for loyalty from Drew when you don't extend that same loyalty. Just saying, right? So, so on top of that, I'm trying to keep a straight face. So, because it's funny to me. Here's the thing. When it comes to the Go Naked Hair thing, I actually understand it, right? Because, you know, you can't go off. Like y'all know, I have a brand, like I work with this company, the company Firmu, right? Or Firmu. Y'all know I work with them. They are the ones that reached out to me to do the partnership with them, right? And they are the ones, like when I got like those videos that you guys saw, that's them. They told me they told me how long they want the video. And, you know, they gave me a timeline of how long the video should be, right? Keep it between this time and this time, right? Be sure they gave me a little script to run off of, right? I can't just come up here and be like, oh, y'all, I bought, like, which I can go buy some glasses from them. But I mean, I wouldn't do it without, you know, saying, hey, talking to them. Like, so Drew is setting up a photo shoot for Portia's hair. It is weird, you guys. Like, let's just be real about the situation. But that's really it. Let's move on, you guys. So in this episode, we are introduced to Angela. I'm sorry, you guys. I didn't realize it until I saw that clip of Shamia next week with her telling her she got that 99 nose. I didn't realize that her nose was so pinched. I was like, oh, her nose is pinched. But one thing we can't take from Angela is Mama look good. She looks good, right? So her and Charles, they have been together. Did she say, I think she said 10 years, right? No, so they met in Chicago, right? They met at a party. They exchanged numbers. Oh, that's where the 10 years come in, right? She didn't hear from him for 10 years. Run that back. So y'all met at a party. You gave him your number, but you didn't hear from him for 10 years until y'all moved in the same condo building with each other. Man, that meant at that time he wasn't interested in you ever. Had, I mean, they together now, but it is what it is. So they have 4 kids together, right? Now, I don't know if like 2 of her kids are not, I don't know. She has an older daughter. Her daughter is 24 years old. Then she says he has a child. So I'm assuming that he has a child outside of the relationship, right? And this could have been during that 10-year gap. Then they have a child together. And then, so I'm assuming she has 2 kids that are not his. He has 1 that's not hers, and they have their 1 together. If I got that fucked up, please tell me in the comment section, right? We see as Charles is cooking dinner for her and the kids. I'm here for it, right? I know people last week weren't feeling Charles and the way that Charles told her wig was lifting. I mean, I didn't have a problem with it, right? So she and her daughter are talking about the party and talking about Drew. I mean, it is what it is. Because, I mean, like I said, it's stupid either way it go, right? Is it shiesty and shady on Drew's part? Yeah. But, I mean, Portia is expecting loyalty, and I just don't. I think that's ironic that Portia is expecting loyalty, right? But it is what it is, right? We also find out that she's a financial investor, and she also has some investment properties that she's trying to sell. And that's like I said, with this, we were just really mostly getting introduced to Angela. I like Angela. I like Angela. So let's move on to Ms. Britt, you guys. So with Britt, her husband's name is Mike, right? So she and Mike, they got married during the pandemic. So they signed their wedding certificate. They signed their marriage certificate. They got married via a Zoom, and so now they're talking about having kids, right? Now Mike has a son. I think she said he's 14. I don't remember. I can't remember the age, but Mike has a son. So she says Mike wants to be a girl dad. She also has a dog named Mimosa. Cute dog, right? So they talked about having a baby, and she wants to have a baby within the next year, right? Her mom is staying with them, I guess, temporarily. But when she has the baby, she wants her mom to move into the house. Now, here's the thing that I will say. When it comes to Brit, the way people feel about Charles when it comes to Angela, I get more of that vibe from Mike. That I don't think Mike necessarily 100% likes Brit. Oh, speaking of Brit, so Brit also says she met Mike through her insurance agency because he was her client. But don't that complicate the thing? No, don't that. I mean, okay. I will also say her house is nice. That bathroom, that tub, loved it. Will I say I like Brit? I mean, I don't dislike Brit, but I do think Brit is going to be a little bit of an annoyance. Just keeping it real. I think Brit is going to be annoying, but I'm willing to give Brit a chance, right? So let's go ahead and move on from Brit over to her bestie. Well, I just said her bestie, but if you guys watched the interview that Shamia and Kelly did last week, Kelly ain't feeling. Actually, I think most of the cast ain't feeling. Most of the cast is not feeling Brit at this current moment. Because I know Shamia is not feeling Brit because Shamia says that Brit said something about her daughter Shiloh, right? If she did that, it's disgusting. Now, we see Kelly. So Kelly, I finally saw a picture of her ex-husband. That's what you married? The heart wants what it wants, right? So you guys know that Kelly has her restaurant. So we see Kelly as she's at a new building, right? And so she's looking to open this place up by July 15th. And her publicist is there. So her publicist is like, yeah, we can get this open by July 15th. Her project manager, however, comes in and says, yeah, Kelly girl, you got to get your permits. You got to get this. You got to do that. You got to get your permits. You got to get make the layout of the kitchen. This July 15th opening, it ain't going to fucking happen, right? So, but Kelly is like, it's going to happen. So we get a little bit deeper into Kelly, right? So Kelly had two restaurants, one in Conyers and the one that's currently open in, now she said, I've always thought it was pronounced Magdano. I thought that's how that city was pronounced, but I could be wrong. But she has that one, right? But the one in Conyers, it got closed because of her ex-husband, right? And I'm gonna ask the question, like, does he have a vested interest in your business to close it down, or like, how is he affiliated with your business to close your business down? She didn't really go into deep detail about that, right? But so she wants to open this second one up, right? Because she's all about building generational wealth for her and her daughters, which I think is absolutely cool, right? So after that, we see a scene where Britt went over to her house, right? And so when Britt got to her house, now what color was her dog's fur? Was that shit look like pink, magenta? I don't understand why people do that to dogs. I truly do not. I don't understand why people dye the dog's fur. And that dog, no. So they're sitting down talking, right? So remember, with Britt and Mike got married during COVID, right? So they didn't have a wedding. So Britt wants to have a ceremony, and then she threw shots at Portia saying, I wouldn't be 3 hours late to your shit, right? Then they talked about the fact that Cynthia was saying that the girl that they were being, starting to mess, which You were, especially you, Kelly. You were starting to mess, right? So then they also talked about the fact that with Kenya, when she talked about Britt's ring, right, that she doesn't have a wedding band. Well, Britt, you don't have a wedding band, boo. Like, what are you upset about? She told the truth. Most, like I said, I know most people, they had their engagement ring and they had their wedding band. They wear them together. Like I don't, whatever. So you mad about that? Kelly is like, did she see your ring? Okay, what does that mean? Then Britt was like, and she needs to worry about her divorce. And speaking of divorce, what's going on with yours? Now we get a little deeper into Kelly's divorce, right? So Kelly's ex-husband is a piece of shit, if this is true what she's saying, right? So she says this man took $500,000 out of the business account and he ain't locked up. You ain't sue him. First of all, you ain't fuck suing him. That nigga ain't locked up. You stole from me. Then she says when she I think she reported it and things got physical with them. That big blob. Okay, Kelly, ma'am. I hope you get your divorce expeditiously from that man, cause he's a piece of shit. If I ain't never saw a piece of shit in my goddamn life, like, So that's it with Kelly. Not Kelly. Yeah, that is it with Kelly. That's who we were talking about. So now we're gonna move on, and I don't know if I want to go to Portia, Shamia. Well, let's do Shamia real quick, because Shamia is easy to get out the way. So with Shamia, we see as Shamia went to go meet Shadina, right? You guys remember Shadina. Shadina was Candy's surrogate who carried Blaze to term, right? So Shamia went through Shadina to carry Shiloh. But unfortunately, there were complications during the pregnancy with Shiloh. Shadina found out that she had breast cancer, and I was like, oh, wow. That is terrible. So when they found out that Shadina had breast cancer, that's when, they had to take Shiloh early. I was like, oh. And Shadina's like, she doesn't know if she wasn't pregnant at that time, would she have gotten checked out? But I'm glad that she did, right? And, I feel like both of the women are kind of looking at it like, did we do something, did I do something wrong? Did I do something wrong? Neither one of them did anything wrong. And for people who have negative comments for Shamia about using a surrogate, y'all are despicable, disgusting human beings. Like, why do y'all, like, here's my thing. Why do y'all care what, and this goes to, not to get political, but let's get a little political. This goes to anybody who cares about what other people do with their bodies, right? Especially women. I don't understand the fascination with if a woman has an abortion. I don't understand the fascination if a woman decides not to have a baby. I don't understand the fascination of if a woman decides it's not healthy for her to carry a baby. I don't understand the fascination with what other women do with their uterus and their fucking body. Like, mind your fucking uterus and say the fuck out of hers. If you don't want kids, that's fine. If you want kids and you want to have kids, that's fine. If she wants to have kids and go through a surrogate, that's fucking fine. Leave her the fuck alone. Now, we found out that Shamia, it's too many shahs. Shamia was pregnant and Shamia had an atopic pregnancy. I was like, oh, that is so sad. But we also found out that Shamia does have 4 embryos, right? She has 2 boys and 2 girls. I got 5 fingers up, but I know it's only 4. So and Gerald wants more kids, right? So they're looking to expand their family. I wish Shamia nothing but the best when it comes to her family. And that's really all we got with Shamia. Is that all we got with Shamia? If I didn't miss anything with Shamia, y'all leave it in the comment section. Moving on to the next person. Let's go ahead and go down the land of delusions. I feel like we should start with Drew, you guys. So, Drew. Drop it with Drew. Girl, was this just a scene to film you at the gym? Because, okay, Drew. Whatever, girl. Whatever. So Drew is meeting up with Shamia and with Angela, right? So Angela is talking to Drew before Shamia gets there about her working with Dennis. Drew, this is where I have a question for you. So Drew, ma'am, Angela says, like, girl, out of all the producers in Atlanta, why work with Dennis? Exactly. And Drew says, she's worked with some of the best producers in the game, but her music ain't never really just popped like that. And I was sitting here like, now, Drew, dropping it with Drew. Let's drop this down real quick. So, you work with some of the biggest producers around. Ain't never really had a hit. Okay. You think you can get that from Dennis, who nobody knows? Which again, let me say this, right? Let me say this, I mean, before the dream, before who else? The Dream, Rodney Jerkins, Babyface. Who else? The list can go on. I'm trying to think. Jermaine Dupri. Before any of them had their big hits, yeah, they were probably. They were unknowns to people, right? And so I'm not gonna shit on Dennis, because it could happen. You could get that big hit from Dennis, but I sincerely doubt it, girlfriend. I sincerely doubt it. But hey, if that's what you want to do, Drew, drop it. Drop that song. But okay, Drew, go for it, right? But Drew insists that this is a business relationship with she and Dennis. Now, interesting that you said this is a business relationship, but at the party you were saying he was your angel and he was your angel, right? Angel on earth or whatever the fuck you said. I'm like, you and Dennis must have done got together because later in the episode, Dennis said the same damn thing. But okay. So when Shamia got there, Angela wanted to know, like, Shamia, girl, why did you feel the need to bring this up? Were you asking this question for Portia? She said, no. If you were listening, I was asking for myself. What I will say, though, is Angela came in very hot with Shamia. And I'm here for it. I ain't mad at it. Let's wrap up the episode, you guys, with none other than Portia. Production, I got a question for y'all real quick. Why did y'all, was that supposed to be shade when Portia and Kenya both showed up to lunch in their Rolls Royces and you say Kenya purchased hers and Portia's was gifted by Simon? Who was that supposed to be shade towards? Was it supposed to be shade towards Portia or was it supposed to be shade towards Kenya? Like I didn't understand it and I thought it was unnecessary. Neither here nor there. They both look phenomenal. They look good. Love it. So they sit down, they talked about Drew. Portia, girl, you just mad that, I get it. You mad that she's filming with your baby daddy. It is a little, she can't film with her husband, so, again, and you're looking for loyalty from her. I don't understand why you're looking for loyalty, but okay, Portia, whatever, right? So then they talked about Simon. You see, this is a definition of you thought the grass was greener on the other side because you saw what Fallon had with Simon and then you got with Simon, but you found out that, like I said last week, you thought that you had gold in your hand when you actually had fool's gold in your hand, right? Because she says that, things, she found out he was lying about things. Ma'am, you have only yourself to blame. You have yourself to blame for the shit that went on with you and Simon. You didn't know that man long enough to be like when you got with him, y'all got engaged, then y'all got married. It wasn't no time, but like y'all didn't even really get the time to know each other. So I don't feel bad for you, Portia. Gotta be honest with you, right? Then we found out that the man was married 5 different times, but one of the wives was a fake marriage. Then after she left the house, she said she saw on the camera that there was some women in the house. Are you surprised? Okay. I guess. So then we see her out with Dennis and PJ, right? So like I said a few minutes ago with Drew, Dennis said the same thing. This is a business relationship with Drew. Drew was supposed to film with him so she could have some stuff on the show, so she could promote her album. The album was supposed to have been out a month ago. Dennis, did you catch that lie? So if her album was supposed to be out a month ago, how is she filming? Like, what the fuck is she filming? Like, what is she? If Drew's album was supposed to have been out a month ago, what in the hell is Drew filming? And Drew saying y'all got 30 songs. that means y'all have already done them songs before filming started. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? Again, Portia's still talking about this loyalty shit. I'm like, okay, Portia, girl, go to hell. Like, and she got pissed. Again, I understand her being pissed. It would be one thing if Portia didn't do what she did to Fallon, right? With the shit with her, how she got with Simon. It would be one thing if that shit didn't happen, but girl, it happened. And it ain't no fun when a rabbit got the motherfucking gun, because that's exactly what this shit is, right? Then, now that hot mic moment, because I knew that there was gonna be a hot mic moment. I mean, it just, honestly, I think it just showed who Portia, because they showed a little clip of Portia's Family Matters, right? Again, I have not watched that show. I know somebody said it in the live chat last week to watch it. I will eventually sit down and watch that shit, just not right. Actually, you know what? Since I'm off this week, we may take some time to watch that show. It's only 43 minutes, so we might watch it sometime this week. But I mean, it is what it is. Y'all, let me know what y'all thought about the episode. Overall, it was I enjoyed the episode. I still don't see where people saying they getting love and hip hop from, but it is what it is, right? I know the ratings were down last week. It was 700,000 viewers, and that was the live viewers. So we don't know what Peacock did, but hey, overall, I mean, season 16 is off to a good start. Let me know what you guys thought about it in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, share the video, you guys. And until the next time, stay safe, take care of yourselves, and wash your hands. Be blessed. And I'll see you guys later on in the live of the Real Housewives of Atlanta at about 4:30, I think, you guys. And then we got Married to Medicine, the season finale, as well as the baddies. And I'll catch you guys then.